Hello, fifth graders! Hoping everyone is doing great. Today is another learning and adventure on the other side of the United States, for we're going to discuss about the Northwest and the Arctic. Here are the learning objectives of this lesson. Number one, you'll be able to describe how the people of the Pacific Northwest adapted to their environment and used the area's resources to meet their needs. And number two, you'll be able to recognize how the people of the Arctic survive in a cold climate with limited resources. So this lesson, grade 5, describes how Native Americans of the Pacific Northwest use the region's abundant natural resources for their own needs and for trade goods. Look at the map of grade 5. From the previous lessons, we discussed about the native people of the eastern woodlands. And lesson 3, we discovered the plains, which is here in the middle part of the United States. Then we headed to the southwest and west, learning about the Pueblo people. And now we're going to find out more about the groups of native people live in the Pacific Northwest and the Arctic, which is upper part of United States and south of Canada. Now let's unlock first the vocabulary words of this lesson. Number one is harpoon. It is a long spear with sharp shell points used for hunting. And this is how it looks like, grade 5. It is one of the fundamental hunting weapons of the Inuit people. Number 2 is clan. It is an extended group of family members. A clan alternatively is called sib or gens. It is a kind of kin group whose members claim a shared identity and certain rights based upon descent from a common ancestor. Okay, and number 3 is economy. It is the way people of a state, region, or country use their resources to meet their needs. You probably heard grade 5 people talk about the economy, isn't it? When people say this, they're usually referring to the economy of the country where they are living. A good economy is generally one that produces a lot of good paying jobs, and businesses are making money, and overall the economy is growing. Right? And number 4, we have the word barter, means to exchange goods. It is a simple form of trade where goods or services are exchanged for a certain amount of other goods or services. So there is no money involved in this kind of system. Number 5 is potlatch. It is a Native American celebration meant to show wealth and divide property among people. So it is an example, grade 5, a ceremony among certain people of the Pacific Northwest. And number 6 is kayak. It is one-person canoe made of waterproof skin stretched over wood or bone. So it is a kind of transportation used for hunting and fishing. And number 7 is igloo. It is a house made of snow or ice. So it is a snow house by the Inuit, and it is a good house for the polar region. Now, grade 5, let's discover the geography of the Northwest. Okay, look at the maps here. The Northwest Coast, which is also known as the Pacific Northwest, stretched between the Pacific Ocean and the mountains to the east. It included parts of what are now Washington, Oregon, and some part of western Canada. So in this area, grade 5, they have cool ocean winds brought by heavy rains, so the forests grow tall and thick. And these forests and the rivers that run through them were filled with fish and other animals. Now let's find out what kind of people in the Northwest. Okay, so here, many Native American groups live in this region, including the Kwakiutl, Maka, and the Chinook. Okay, so these people met their needs by fishing and hunting and by gathering plants and nuts. All right? For the Northwest people, grade 5, the coastal waters were an important resource and salmon was a staple food for most groups. Whales were an important resource too. Whales supplied not only food but also fat, which could be melted into oil to burn in lamps. And most groups, including the Kwakiutl, captured only whales that had become stranded on the shore. And in contrast, the Maka would go on whale hunts in a huge canoes that carried up to 60 people. The giant trees that grow in the forest Great Five of the northwest coast provided many groups with wood for houses, tools, and boats. Naka villages stood near the Pacific Ocean, which is a common location for many Native American homes in the Pacific Northwest. Okay, so let's find out more about these people. The shelters of the Naka were similar to Iroquois longhouses, but the difference is it's only much larger. All members of a clan or extended family live in the same longhouse. Okay, grandparents, parents, aunts and uncles, and children live together. Each person in the clan held a specific rank. Then the clans made an important decision about village life, and also the clans taught younger members songs, stories, and wood carving skills. And the Baka Great Five made nearly everything from wood and also created tall totem poles that were used to tell a story or welcome visitors or traders. Okay, look at example here. So wood was so useful to the people of the northwest coast. Okay, and trading was also a large part of the region's economy, and that's what we're going to find out more on the next lesson. And before we end up this lesson grade 5, please remember this. The Pacific Northwest provided abundant natural resources for Kwakiutl, Maka, Chinook, and other people of the region. And second one, the people of the Pacific Northwest used the abundant trees of the region to make homes, tools, utensils, and boats. Alright, so that's for today. I hope you learned something, and please let me know if you have some questions and queries regarding this lesson. Bye for now.